Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mariam, and I'll be taking you on the data analytics session today. So today we're going to go through what data analytics is, some areas in data analytics, the skills required. We're also going to be looking at the jobs prospects and their various salary ranges. And we'll analyze some of the jobs in the job market. And after it, we'll have some time for questions and answers. So a little bit about me. I have about 10 years in information technology, of which 5 years has been in data roles. And some of the technologies I've used in my data roles are working with different databases and different data technologies like SQL, Power BI, SSDT tools, Crystal reports. And these are some of the certifications I've taken throughout my career in the information technology space. So what exactly is data analytics? In simple form, to me, data analytics is a means which helps us to make sense of the data we have by converting it into either information or actionable insights. I usually say data is live because in everything we do, we're either consuming data or putting out data. Data is part of our day-to-day life. This information session, we're just exchanging data in our house, at school, workplace, everything we do, we're just exchanging data. And what is it exactly that data analysts do? Data analysts work with existing data, and we use this data to solve business problems. We provide insight and give transparency to happenings through data interpretation. Data analysts are basically storytellers, and they explain what your data is and how your data can help you with different aspects of your business. As a data analyst, you can work in any industry. You can work in finance, justice, medical, government, security. It's limitless. And there are different careers in data. Some of them are used interchangeably. I'll just go through some of them so we can have like more understanding what each person does. So I'll start with like a data consultant. So say you have a company and you want to like build like a data enterprise. You get someone who's like a data consultant. A data consultant is usually a seasoned expert. The data consultant might have been one of these roles previously and gain more experience, then becomes a consultant. And they create and implement the different data strategies to build the data enterprise. And then you have your data architect. Data architect, they deal with like the security and the governance around data, how your data should be structured, should it be on-premise, should it be in the cloud, the different governance around it. We have a course on cybersecurity and cloud computing. They'll go more into details of the governance around our data architecture. And then we have our back-end data developers, and these are our data engineers, business intelligence developers, ETL developers, and PL SQL developers. They mostly deal with getting data from like the different sources and then using it to build like a data mart. A data mart basically is just where you have your different types of data stored. It can be structured or unstructured data. Structured data are like almost like tangible data, like maybe your name, financial information. Unstructured data are like data that you can't really see, like maybe like voice notes, pictures, etc. So they build this data mat and then store all the data in the data mat. And then we have our front-end developers, which are the data analysts and then reporting analysts. The data that has been stored in the data mat, they then pick this data and then use it to provide insight for the business. Could be through extracts, could be through PowerPoint presentation, could be creating dashboard, just making it more understandable to non-technical clients. And then we have the data scientist. Data scientist is similar to the data analyst, but they go an extra step. While data analysts use existing data and then make decisions based on this existing data, data scientists go the further step of doing like predictive modeling and try to predict what will happen on your data based on what you already have. And then we have a machine learning engineer and the AI engineer. AI is just basically trying to train a computer or machine to behave like a human. And then machine learning, it's a subset of that. So say you have like your self-driving car, and then that's the AI itself teaching the car how to drive. But then you have to teach the car how to like identify like maybe traffic lights, to distinguish between like a pedestrian and maybe like a structure, an object. So that's why you have machine learning, the different ways you train the AI to identify those objects. Those are the machine learning models. And that's what machine learning engineers do. So to be in the data field, there are some skills that are like a must, like common skills you should have. And one of this is the structured queried language. A lot of times your data are going to be stored in the database, so you have to learn the data management system itself. And structured queried language is just the means whereby you use to communicate with your database and get data to present. So these two are very important if you want to get into the data field. And then you have some other skills which you can acquire depending on which aspect of the data role you want to go into. So for example, you want to be like a data scientist, you have to know a programming language. We have different programming language, but commonly what's used most of these days is Python and R, because they have like Python strictly for data analytics, where you work with data analytics libraries. And database is a must because your data is stored in a database. Even data stored like in Excel files or flat files, they all end up being in the database one way or the other. And then you have like visualization tools used to create like dashboards, present extracts. So there are different visualization tools depending on the industry you're working, and maybe the company, they can use one or the other, just owned by different companies. And then we have ETL, which basically means extract, transform, and load, mostly used by backend developers, where they extract the data, transform the data, do some data wrangling, and then load it into the data mat. So they have different tools. Also depends on the company. We can use either or. You don't have to know everything, but you should know at least one of it depending on the data career you want to go into. And then some soft skills you need. As a data analyst, you have to be curious. You have to want to know why things work the way they are, because a lot of time business, they might not even know what they want, but they want a solution. So as a data analyst, you have to have a problem-solving mindset, because you need to help business understand what they have and how they can solve this problem based on the data you're presenting to them. There's going to be a lot of creative and analytical thinking to solve problems. And you also have to have good communication skills, because most of the time you're a storyteller, you're trying to interpret the data to the business. So you're going to work in with like a lot of team, there'll be a lot of collaborations. So you have to have good communication skills. Attention to detail is also very important, because your business is going to make decisions based on the data you're presenting to them. So if you present like wrong data, and based off of the wrong data, they make decisions, that can be very problematic. So just imagine like the self-driving car, for example, feeding it wrong data. Instead of identifying like a human as a human, identifies it like an object, you know what's going to happen with that. So attention to detail is very critical. Industry knowledge is also important, but it's not a showstopper. Some industries prefer people who already, like finance and medical, for example, they tend to lean towards people who already have experience. But once you're passionate about the job and you have the technical skills, the experience comes in, so it's not a showstopper. Passion too is very important, because you have some late nights, and sometimes what drives you would just be your sheer passion of getting the work done and solving the problem. And so this is some of the salary ranges. Again, this salary range is based on your level and years of experience, your geographical location, and then the industry you're working in. And it ranges from, you can make like 6 figures, but when you're entry level starting out, it might not be up to 6 figures. And based on like the skills you acquired throughout, then you can negotiate higher. So this, I got this from Glassdoor and Talent. So at your free time, you can just go on Google and search in your geographical area the salary ranges available. And then as a data analyst, there's job everywhere, like it's limitless, it's endless. Everybody needs a data analyst to work with data in the company. So I did a Google search last week, and you can see data analyst jobs from Google. And then on the right, I did a search as well as LinkedIn. You can see over 8,000 jobs on LinkedIn. This is just from Ontario alone. And if you notice, although I searched for like data analyst, you can see some of the job roles coming. You see ETL developer, data engineer, senior BI. It basically just depends on what the company wants and the additional skills you've gained, whether it's through programming or visualization tools. So, and the type of company as well. Some smaller companies, you tend to like play like this different roles, but in bigger companies, it's more like streamlined for you to do like a particular job. And yes, so register for our free session. We're going to teach introduction to data analysts. We're going to be going on SQL, a lot of business intelligence tools, data visualization tool, also go into introduction with some programming languages used specifically for data. And then we'll be working on real life data sets and projects. So thank you very much.